We're here back at the Fantasy Bar with a special Thanksgiving edition of the Six Pack with 6 of my favorite plays on Fanduel, Draftkings, and Yahoo, including some of my favorite value plays, a stack I think will go a little bit overlooked, and of course, my favorite play for Thanksgiving. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Thanksgiving edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six Pack. Hope you and yours have a great holiday. Thank you for taking a few minutes here and stopping by the Fantasy Bar before hitting your Thanksgiving festivities. I greatly appreciate it. Now, before we get into the plays, few things, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, you subscribe to the channel, get notified when these videos are coming out. We'll still be cranking out FanDuel DraftKings video and a Yahoo video for the rest of the Week 12 main slate. So keep an eye out for those later in the week. Also, head over to scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs. Tons of analytics, matchup trends, ability to compare odds across different sports books, and premium picks from some of your favorite RotoGrinders personalities, myself included. Make sure you check it out today. Scoresandodds.com/beer. Last thing, the DFS OG's back in the house. Wednesdays talking NFL slate, Thanksgiving, main slate, covering the entire thing, and running a special contest over at FanDuel.com/OG. Check it out today. All right, enough housekeeping here. Let's get to the goods here on Thanksgiving. Now, we dug a little bit deeper here. A lot of these names you're not going to be comfortable with. You're not going to play all these guys in the same lineup, but we didn't want to give you the easy names up top. We wanted to dig down low. So bear with me here. Some guys you like, some guys you don't like, but wanted to get you some names a little bit off the radar. All right, let's start at the wide receiver position with Emmanuel Sanders of Buffalo. So again, love the spot here for guys that I think are going to go under own. It's a 3-game slate. It can be a little bit difficult to get different, but I think Sanders, one of those guys that can certainly help us after having a few games and nobody's really writing home about here in this Buffalo offense, but I expect Buffalo to bounce back here. The matchup for wide receivers is phenomenal. We know Stephon Diggs is going to get the majority of the coverage here from this New Orleans Saints secondary. Well, they allow the 9th most fantasy points to this position, 5th most receiving yards allowed, and a little revenge narrative here as well. You guys know I love that. Nothing like desserts here on Thanksgiving. We get the cherry on top here with Emmanuel Sanders playing his former teammates. So I think he goes out on Thursday night, has a big game here to wrap up your Thanksgiving. All right, let's stay at the wide receiver position. Let's stay in that same game. Let's go to the other side with Tre'Quan Smith of the Saints. Now, again, guys, understand, it could have been easy to come on here and say CeeDee Lamb, Stephon Diggs, want to give you some names on the lower end. And I think Tre'Quan Smith, one of those guys that could vastly outproduce what we're seeing here on the salary. So look at injuries as of this recording. Not looking good for Alvin Kamara. Mark Ingram also banged up. So this may force the Saints to have to throw the ball a little bit more, potentially just Tony Jones back there. That's good news here for Tre'Quan Smith, who's had pretty good rapport here with Trevor Siemian. 15 targets over the last 2 games against Philadelphia and the Tennessee Titans. And the production been pretty solid here for Tre'Quan Smith. Has found the end zone in 2 of the last 4 and 11 or more DraftKings points in 3 of the last 4 games. At these prices, we'll take that production. I think there's room for even more here. We've seen a lot of close calls with Tre'Quan Smith and touchdowns. And I think he gets it going here Thanksgiving night against the Buffalo Bills. All right, to the running back position, we'll go to the mid-range here with Tony Pollard of the Cowboys. Now, Zeke, the easy answer here, no doubt. But I think this is a great spot for Tony Pollard. Dallas going to be without Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb, questionable. So we'll see if he's able to go, even if he's in there. I don't mind Tony Pollard. And Zeke dealing with a little bit of an injury here. Been a little bit hobbled over the last couple weeks. So maybe we get a few more carries here for Tony Pollard. Could potentially see him in more of a wide receiver slot type role here with some of the injuries, especially if CeeDee Lamb is to miss this game. And we know this guy has home run hitting ability. All it takes is one play here for Tony Pollard to blow these salaries out of the water. So I always love those guys in my lineups here. And the matchup, great. Vegas been terrible against running backs, 6th most fantasy points allowed. So even if you like Zeke, I think there's room here for Tony Pollard to be productive as well. Prices are fair and the upside through the roof here in this matchup with the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, let's get to the quarterback position. This one may make you throw up your turkey a little bit. We're going to go with Jared Goff of the Lions. Now, again, hear me out here. Just trying to be a little bit different. Yes, Dak Prescott, easy answer. Josh Allen, no doubt. You can fit those guys. You can make it work. The lineup isn't overly owned. I'm good with it. But hear me out on Jared Goff here. First of all, he'll be the lowest owned of the 6 quarterbacks. I think Derek Carr going to have some ownership in a potential shootout with Dallas. Simeon coming off a couple good games. People are going to go there as well. Nobody is going to want to go to Jared Goff here. And I don't blame you. I understand the concerns here with Jared Goff. It's been terrible. But when I can get a low-owned option like this, I certainly want to look in that direction, especially when it's a matchup that he's played well in. You go back to the last game against the Bears. He almost threw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. So this guy knows his job is on the line. This Bears defense has not been the same since losing Khalil Mack, so you don't have to worry about that pressure there. I think Jared Goff comes out and responds. Is he going to be the highest scoring quarterback on the slate? No, he will not, but he will be the lowest owned one, and I think he can give you enough at these low price points to allow you to load up at some other spots here. So I get it. It's ugly, but Jared Goff, a guy I'm definitely going to be loading up here on Thanksgiving. All right, let's pair him up with his tight end, TJ Hockenson against Chicago. So again, easy answer, Darren Waller, Dalton Schultz. Some of these guys will be very highly owned at the position. I think Hockenson will certainly have some ownership here, but for good reason here. We're talking about a lot of targets, 8 or more in 5 of the last 7, and he's done that in 3 of the last 4 games. The Bears been good against tight ends this season, but over the last month or so, we've seen a few kinks in the armor here. 12th most fantasy points allowed to this position over the last couple weeks. And this Bears defense, we talked about it, and it's the reason I think Jared Goff can find success here. Chicago just not playing well on this side of the ball, allowing 28 points per game over the last 5, and that includes last week's game against Baltimore. So this number really could be above 30 if Lamar Jackson had played last week. So the Lions, no doubt, it's been ugly, terrible. TJ Hockenson getting the targets. Jared Goff looking like he'll be back in that lineup. Let's get ugly here on Thanksgiving with this mini Detroit stack. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for the Thanksgiving Day slate. But before I do that, get in the comment section, let me know who your favorite Thanksgiving Day play is. Do you agree with some of mine, disagree? Let's talk about it in the comment section. We'll have our Beast of the Week contest coming up in our other videos on the main slate, so make sure you tune in for those. So without further ado, let's take a look at my favorite play on the Thanksgiving Day slate. You know him as the Beast of Thanksgiving. All right, Beast time. We owe you one more running back. We're going to stay in that same game, that early game with David Montgomery of the Bears, the Beast of Thanksgiving. So love this spot for David Montgomery. Been very, very good against this Detroit Lions team. In fact, over the last 2 games, averaging well over 100 yards and has scored 2 touchdowns in each of those games. Saw him have his most productive game of the season, 25 Draftkings points against this Lions defense. And I think the passing game usage is really going to start to spike for David Montgomery. You lose Justin Fields, a guy that doesn't throw a ton to the running backs, a guy that's going to run a lot as well. With Andy Dalton back there, this guy's going to have to check down quite a bit to David Montgomery. Plus, you have Darnell Mooney banged up. Allen Robinson looking iffy to play this week. So they're down weapons here as well. And only the New York Jets have allowed more fantasy production to the running back position than the Detroit Lions. So Montgomery in a great matchup here, loading up on him this weekend against this terrible Detroit defense, making him easily my favorite play on the board in the Beast of Thanksgiving. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, tried to dig a little bit deeper here, so a lot of names you're probably uncomfortable with. That's how you win on slates like this. So let's get it here on Thanksgiving. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the video. As always, you got any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, go check out scoresandodds.com/beer if you're going to be doing some betting here on Thanksgiving. And also go listen to the DFS OGs podcast, Head Chopper Notorious and myself breaking down Thanksgiving and the main slate with some of our favorite plays, some of our favorite bets. Also, FanDuel.com/OG to come play daily fantasy against us. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Bear saying salut, guys. Have a happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to you and your family. Thank you so much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate the support. If you're out driving, please do it safely. And we'll see you back here for my other videos later on this week. Good luck today, guys. Enjoy it, and we'll see you.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, Fanduel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.